Welcome back to our system design series. In this video, we are going to cover another critical concept in building efficient systems, which is latency. Latency plays a huge role in determining how responsive your system feels to users, and understanding it is a pretty important key to creating a great user experience. So, what is latency? Latency refers to the time it takes for a single operation or request to complete. Let's take an example. So, in simpler terms, let's say that we have a client, and this client is sending requests to our server or our system, and the server will send back responses. Okay, so this is how it looks. So, in simpler terms, latency, let's take this one. It's the delay between when the user sends the request or when the client sends the request. So this starting from here. And the request could be like clicking a button or something like that. And when they get the responses, so the time that takes the request to hit the server and the responses coming back, all this time we call latency. So low latency means faster response times, which translates into a more seamless and satisfying user experience. On the other hand, high latency leads to delays, lag, and ultimately a poor experience for users. So imagine you are using a chat application, and after typing a message, it takes several seconds before the other person sees it. That delay is an example of high latency, and it can make the app feel like sluggish and unresponsive. In contrast, a low latency chat application feels like in in a st- feels like it feels like magic. Feels like it have has an instance have instant instantaneous. It's something pretty quick, making communication much smoother and more natural. So these basically there are a few common causes of latency that we need to consider when designing a system. First, network latency is one of the big ones. This is the time it takes for a data to travel over the network from a point to another. For example, if your servers are located far away from your users, the physical distance can lead to increased latency. Another type is processing latency, which is the time it takes for your servers or databases to handle a request once it's received. So to reduce latency, we use something like there are several strategies. One approach is with the simplest one will be the cache. So for example, when the client is sent the response and the response is sent back to the server to the client. So to reduce the latency for the future, we'll save this response in the cache, in the browser cache, for example. So when the client try to request the same thing again, it will be served directly from the cache and not from the server. So it will be reduce the latency here. Also, we can use what we call a CDN, or like content delivery network, not CDN, not M. Yeah. So yeah, we could like use CDN. We can basically serve responses much faster. Basically, CDN, it's a cache system that will cache all the assets data, like images, profiles, stuff like that, assets data specifically, closer to the client, which reduce the network latency. So another effective technique as well is to use like geographic distribution. By placing server closer to users, we can cut down on network latency. This why many global services use multiple data centers around the world to make sure users get fast responses no matter where they are. So that's it for this video, and I hope you like it. So see you in the future.